just talk to us about what they did to you defensively? Because it seemed like you were uncomfortable, a good bit of the night.
Yeah, they made us uncomfortable with their athleticism, really getting hard in the gaps, doing some ball screen switching, keeping it mixed up, opened up in a zone, which shows you how poorly I had us prepared. We hadn't worked on a zone in a couple weeks. I didn't think they would play it. They did. It bothered us. I mean, it goes back to the whole part of the day. I did a real poor job the last 2 weeks and probably the last week of the season, last 3 weeks, getting us to peak at the right time. I think we peaked too early. I asked so much of these kids in the middle part of our year, trying to get to this point that forgot to focus on the finish line. I apologize to them for that, for not having a better plan for them and better preparation going into the SEC tournament and also for this game. But with all that said, listen, Wright State was clearly the better team from tip to buzzer. I haven't seen the full book. We may have taken a 1-point lead at one point in time there in the fourth quarter, but they just they put the ball in Baker's hands and let her make us wrong, which she did a whole bunch. Paul, you've seen us enough to know we can't get outshot and out-rebounded and have 15 turnovers. It was complete domination by Wright State. And congrats to them. Katrina Merriweather is somebody that's special to me. Her family, very, very special. They were nice to me when I was a young assistant coach. If we were going to lose in a matchup, I wanted it to be to Katrina Merriweather. Did not like the matchup from the second we saw it come across. You always are hesitant when you play a team that's got a trophy with a net hanging around it, and they played like the team that's used to winning. And it's again, I hate it for our kids because they did so many things right this year, and I just don't want us to be judged by how we finish. I know that's the nature of the game. When we sign up for this, that you get judged by how you finish, and this year we didn't do a too good job of that.
All right, our next question will go to Tyler Butler. Tyler, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hey, Coach. Talk about there in the fourth quarter, you're up 2 and the ball just, kind of dribbled off the bottom of Barnum's foot, and how that kind of really just impacted that comeback.
Man, I almost called a timeout as soon as she got it. Should have, but it was our last one. This is going to be a summer of would have, could have, should has. But, hey, the kid got in there and got the rebound. That's what I give her credit for. She did the right thing. I did the wrong thing. Should have called the timeout. Got a set play called. But, we're going to be doing that all summer long, looking at this film and things that happened in the first minute of the game as well as the last minute. So that one magnifies because it was at the end. But, man, I'm thinking back to the first 3 minutes of the game when things happened as well. So we're not in that position to win without Erin today. She was tremendous off the bench for us.
Our next question will go to Jordan Black with 4029 News. Jordan, you can ask your question. Unmute yourself.
Hey, Coach. We saw the emotion from everyone. Can you hear me, Coach?
Barely. Something about emotion.
Okay, yeah, we saw the emotion at the end of the game, particularly from Chelsea, who kind of willed you all back in there. And I know how hard it is to see her season come to an end. What do you think her legacy will be at Arkansas? It's
going to continue to grow. This is like I just told her, the end of a chapter, not the end of the story. It's crazy to even think that we should be upset about getting into this tournament. I mean, when she showed up, we weren't considered an NCAA caliber team, much less one that gets upset. That's a good place to take this place in 4 short years. So emotions are really high, but they're the right emotions. Her emotions are not upset that we lost. It's that it's over for this particular team. They've set the legacy for us, the bar for all of our future teams and the standards for all of our future teams. It's certainly not the end of what we'll talk about. She'll be back at reunions. She'll be back at, if I have anything to do with it, Hall of Fame inductions, things like that. And all these kids, Taylor Thomas, all the way down to Jalen Mason and Taylor Thomas and Macy Weaver and Grace Spangler, who believed in us when there was no reason in the world whatsoever to believe that we could be talking about being an NCAA tournament team back that long ago. So it'll hurt. The dreaded hour and 45-minute ride. It'll be 2 hours without a police escort. There'll be a lot of tough feelings, a lot of second guessing. I won't let them do it, but I'll be doing it. But we'll go to work on making some videos of the memories that we created this year.
All right, our next question is Andrew Hutchinson. Andrew, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, Mike, y'all shot the three so well throughout the entire season. The last 2 games, not so well. What do you think contributed to that?
Accumulation of all the stuff I made them do, traveling day of the game way back when, just the stuff, accumulation of all that stuff. We didn't have our legs at the end of the year like we normally do. So many decisions that I regret. I'll go back, and I think that's what it is. And then I'm going to credit the other team's defense. I think in Ole Miss and Wright State, you had 2 very well-prepared teams that, were not going to allow us to get to the foul line and make threes. They took one of those away from us. I know our kids are going to be in there thinking they could have made more shots than they did, but it's an accumulation. It's how we practiced the last 2 weeks. I should have given them more reps shooting. We should have worked on some different things to get them better shots. I thought we rushed a few at that point in time. When we got down, we all wanted to kind of, help our team get back into this thing. They wanted to help us win so badly that I think we took some shots that maybe we haven't practiced enough. So that's what I attribute it to. I don't know that I'm right yet or not. We'll go back and break it down throughout. Again, now until next November, we'll be thinking through what we can do better so that when we're in this situation again, we'll be better prepared.
Okay, our next question is for Seth Campbell. Seth, you can unmute yourself.
Hey, Mike, I know season just ended, but how soon do you start thinking about, what the team for next year is going to look like and getting to, recruit the team that you have now to stay an extra year?
Yeah, we won't do anything anytime soon. You've got to let them. Deal with this. This is part of being a student athlete in college. There's only a very, very few teams that get to end on a win. So let everybody get together, get their thoughts together, start making plans. My staff deserves a break. We deserve a break. We've been so hard at it since over a year ago when COVID hit. We've worked harder. Our staff has worked tirelessly to keep these kids healthy, as focused as we possibly could, give us ourselves the best chance. So there's going to be some well-deserved time off. There's no rush. We've had some preliminary talks. We know where some kids, what their mind's at, but we'll let them deal with the emotion and certainly get back to Fayetteville and give it the right amount of time. Everybody will need a little different amount of time. I'm sure some kids will be telling me at the hotel tonight. But I think others will take a little bit more time. So we'll just play each one of them individually. We know the kids that we have coming in, and we'll get a plan together when the time's right.